JJ, I have to talk to you because you did this LinkedIn post and I thought it was really smart, but then I saw it just blew up and I thought it might make sense to talk about it because it really hit a nerve with a very broad audience and we write about privacy a lot. So it's interesting when one really breaks through the noise.
Oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about. It was kind of crazy actually, because I was mostly just ranting about my own personal experience of walking into a coffee shop, and a bookstore and a retailer, and just this, everybody's doing it now. Hey, what's your phone number? And you come back with, well, why do you want it? As a privacy wonk, right? I say, well, why do you want it? And they say, well, it's to look you up in our system. And I thought it was a training thing, right? I thought maybe, front end customer service people just aren't trained. They're saying whatever they need to do. So I wrote about that experience and just, asking the question, are brands sensitive to some of these privacy issues? And are consumers sensitive to it? Or is it just me as a privacy professional? And yeah, the post went crazy, actually. Close to 50,000 impressions already. Who's counting? But the kind of comments were super interesting. Everybody came in with their like, yep, that happens to me. It's kind of frustrating. There were so many people that came in with well, here's the fake number that I use when people ask me that. So I thought, you're not getting quality data anyway. And as I kind of went through all the comments, I just couldn't help feeling, are brands getting this vibe? And like, I get the reasons why they're doing it. For a second there, third-party cookies were going away. We can't rely on them much anyway, so it's about first-party data collection. But you're doing it wrong.
Well, it's got to make sense. I mean, I think it goes to what do consumers expect? And they came in to get a cup of coffee and they have $5 in cash. Why do you need their phone number?
Yeah.
Right? Like it strikes it's an off-key tone when you're asking for information in the midst of that. And it's why do you need that? And then sometimes like when you have the person really press, like, no, I need it to move forward. And it's confusing.
So that's the part that I learned just from the comments where somebody said, hey, it's built into some point of sale systems. So like when I sense frustration, like on the other, like this, I think this was in the burger joint. And I said, look, I'll give you a fake number. And then they kind of got all huffy. I was like, oh man, they're gonna spit in my burger now. Like I was just wanting to get a burger, man. And then then you realize like, no, it's a step in the point of sale. And as frustrating as it was for me, it was frustrating for, the host. You're in this weird, awkward situation.
Right. Right. And you start thinking about just some of these other things on the side, like financial incentive programs, the bona fide loyalty. We're thinking, oh, loyalty program. Okay, there's a specific process for that. But when you're doing the kiosk to get your smoothie and you're right there, it's not like there's a long line and you have to put your phone number in. There's no if, ands, or
Mhm.
buts, and the phone number is going to be used for more than giving you your smoothie. Then that there are different obligations there. And I think just back to UI, and it's not just about notices and really thinking about that both from the consumer journey standpoint and then from a product compliance standpoint, what have you accounted for when you were building that into point of sale?
Yeah, and this idea of you collecting for a specific purpose. In this case, the purpose is just being communicated by, your front of house staff. How do you really take a purpose in? Like, how can I really go back and say, hey, you were just supposed to use this information to look me up in your system? But now I'm getting stuff mailed to my house, I'm getting all sorts of junk, and there's just no way to record that in an
Right.
installed environment.
Right. And then there's so the FTC had that case with then Twitter about when they asked for phone number for security purposes, right? And it's in the CRM. So the phone number got used for other purposes. And the FTC went after them. They're under a settlement order because that was misleading to then use it for this other purpose. And it's the question of if you say no purposes, but the context of the exchange is that I'm only intending to use it for this one purpose to give you your burger, but it's now part of your profile. And in fact, it's used to bring in all sorts of other data. You could see how that may raise some compliance issues.
And the thing about it is, it's the FTC or whichever regulator is going to look at this. These are things just experiencing in their daily lives as people.
Yes.
Like in a similar way online, hey, they can go to Tag Explorer and they can see which tags are firing and if they're turned off or on, with an opt-out.
Yeah.
In a similar way, they're walking into stores too. They're real people. All right. They're seeing this. It's only a matter of time.
I have that, what is it, the People magazine? They're just like us. Stars are just like us. Regulators are just like us.
Regulators, they're just like us. Totally, right? And I think they relish these kind of opportunities to walk into stores and be like, I don't like that. Anyway, so I really hope, well, thanks for bringing that up. I hope brands kind of get it and start to look at alternatives here. It's super disruptive to the consumer experience. And what's surprising to me is like brands and marketers, they put so much care into these digital journeys and in-store journeys. And everyone's frustrated with cookie banners because you have this beautiful digital experience and then you're just supposed to throw this banner up, right? In Europe, at least, but people are doing it here, which is so weird to me. And in a similar way, you've got this great in-store experience and you're really disrupting it with the, hey, can I have all these pieces of data on you? It just puts people off.
But here's what I think, like that is a very tangible experience. It's objective. A consumer knows that, they interact with that. And what we do see is people speak up, right? That's not a passive collection. People notice new technology and it's confusing. What I see is like the heat map on social media. And if you think of like brand tracking, the brand tracking heat map of where is their negative sentiment being stated about your brand, I think more people actually are noticing and talking about these things. And so how does that feedback loop go into those brand PR heat maps that then is it like, oh, actually privacy does matter? Because there's always, how much do people really care about privacy? And I think as people are more aware, they are noticing and they are talking about it. And so that is reaching different corners within the business to consider.
Yeah, I'm with you. And there was a ton of brands actually just in this social post who jumped in, like invited others, hey, what do you think of this? And you probably looked at their own practices and wondered, I'm waiting for that first brand to come and just say, you know what, we're doing it a little different. We're doing it a little different. We're gonna maybe ask consumers along the journey to slowly collect more info rather than, hey, as soon as you show up, give me the list, give me your phone number, give me your address. Like it's too much.